Let me start by summing up a bit. We have been talking about all the regulations at the table at the moment. It's quite amazing, huh? There's these kind of moments in life where you realize that, you know, I remember starting in the tech sector, everybody said, why would you want to be in, like, it was called IT, right? EDB in Danish and IT, yeah. It's like information technology, right? And it's, and I was like, yeah, but it's transforming everything, it's so exciting, and people went, duh, right? Boring. Look at it now, right? It's at the heart of security, it's the heart of, you know, equality in society, how we manage everything, how we work, and how we live our lives. And I take a real pride in this role and in running one of the most professional organizations and in actually including everybody in society in this process. And everything that's at the table in the EU at the moment seems to be about tech. You know, how do we optimize our energy consumption? Tech. How do we have warning systems for natural disasters? Tech. How do we make sure that we do great innovations in health? Tech. So I cannot mention one area that we are not touching upon that has to do with tech, and this is why we need to get it right. We've been discussing the AI Act, the Data Act, the Cyber Resilience Act. We've been asked, you know, we've really, one of the most core things that we've discussed, in my view, is how we break down the silos between public sector and private sector. I think this artificial line of them and us needs to be blurred out. There are so many things that we can only do together, and I'm sure that, you know, employees are also citizens, and everybody is trying to reach the same targets, and it's tech for a better and more resilient world. So how do we work also with these pieces of legislation? I'm a big advocate that we work much more in an agile way, you know, asking our SMEs, asking these great unicorns that we had, Redpoint, Plan A, Easy, companies that are, you know, the future, how we should implement these pieces of legislation, how we should handle data, how should we handle artificial intelligence of the future. And this is why, amongst others, Digital Europe is sandboxing right now as we speak with 10 of these European scale-ups. So we're sandboxing the AI Act to give feedback to the Council, to the policymakers, to the Parliament on how this will affect SMEs also. Remember, we still only have 5% of the world's unicorns in the European Union. It's less than they have in the UK in total. And if we want them to stay and grow here, we need to involve them. We are all citizens, also the employees, also the owners of companies, and we want to have influence on how we really do this. And a big thank you to the Commission and to everybody from the Member States, to the Parliament for also giving us that voice and listening to us. It means the world, and it will give a better result in the end. So, well, one of the things that I think we learned from both COVID and from the unfortunate and illegal war and invasion of Ukraine has been that a lot of digital companies in an area means a lot more resilience. Whether that is on cybersecurity, whether that is on moving your data out and to safe places in data embassies, this has really played a major role. And with that resilience, of course, let me remind you that the most interesting piece of publication in the last many years is this one. It talks about digital resilience in cybersecurity, in digital infrastructure, you know, in misinformation and many of the topics that we have spoken about today. We have seen institutions, not only the European Union, but also institutions like NATO taking this understanding that they need a much more close collaboration with private sector to create security in the society. With the Diana accelerator program, where they take SMEs in, and once they have access to one ally, they have access to procurement with all the allies, and they're really looking to collaborate with these deep tech scale-ups all over the territory. And it really shows the importance of how digital and resilience is closely linked. So let me turn to something that was a highlight for me. Valeria, our Deputy Digital Minister for Ukraine. I mean, what a fantastic lady. I mean, as I told yesterday, some of you might not have been here, but I was discussing with her. For me, the war in Ukraine was a big thing, and for many people in my organization also. And I kept on saying to her, "Oh, we should have done this in 2014." And she said, "Don't think about the past. You'll lose energy for the future. And now we should focus at, solving the conflict and how we can transform into a stronger digital society. Also, when we become a part of EU." And that's such a strong statement. And how many of you in here saw her video yesterday? Okay, yeah. So quite a number, and I hope that we'll send it around so everybody can see it. Amazing video. I mean, I don't think a company could come up with a more, bold vision on how tech can really transform the society. And when the Ukraine happened, the Ukrainian government called us. I told this yesterday, and they said, they're cutting the cables, they're bombing our radio stations, we don't have connectivity, help us. Well, I'm really grateful that DigitalEurope have so many fantastic tech companies that just leaned in. I said, you need to help me. We need to gather PCs, radios, Starlinks, equipment. And all my members basically leaned in. They all leaned in and they helped us to gather some of all these materials and made the first shipments to Ukraine. And even though at that time the EU emergency mechanism did not cover this, the EU listened to us, and now it does. And now we're working very closely with the Commission and the Ukrainian government on something called Laptops for Ukraine. And please, everybody that has a spare device, bring it to us. So I think it has shown that the digital industry is not only a sideshow, it's really at the heart of everything that we do, and that we are ready to lean in and do something. And maybe just one thing, I mean, yesterday I was awarded with a Ukrainian Peace Prize, which was a big honor for me, and I didn't expect it at all, not at all, but I just want to say that this is not my award, it is all the members' award, and it's all the staff's award. People like Norman sitting down there, put your hand up. Thank you for your support. Great support that you have given, and a lot of personal passion into this. Chris, thank you so much for helping with this coming through. Charlotte from Oracle, all the great companies that have been leaning in and really helping us to make this happen. So for me, it's a moment in time where everything comes together. Yeah, let me show you the prize. Thank you. This is not my prize; it is our prize, and I want to thank for the trust of my members and my staff to follow and really help Ukraine in any way we can, and Slava Ukraine. So yeah. With that brief summary, I stand between you and lunch, right? But let me just ask a few people to receive a sincere thank you, of course, Mette. But let me bring to stage, first of all, Kivanch from my team. You could come up, please. Just come up here. Yeah. So, without Kivanch, this would never happen. There would be no Masters of Digital, and she has followed my crazy ideas of getting this bigger and bigger every year since the start, now for 6 years, so a big hand. Thank you, Kivanch. Then second, I would like to see on stage, of course, Chris, who also... So, Chris is, of course, my UK refugee that I managed to save from the Brexit, and I'm utterly grateful for you. Each time I have a bigger idea, in the start you smile, now you go like, okay, yes, we'll do that. So thank you so much for making this happen, for your great network. I would like to see on stage Samia, Adnan, and Marta also, who has been standing behind this conference, doing all the press, the outreach. Please. Thank Thank you, Samia. Thank you so much. Samia is handling everything on communication together with Adnan, and Marta is the right hand of Kivanch. And so let me just say, I mean, there are a lot of more people that deserve the thank you, but and I will ask all the staff to come on stage in a minute, but I will release the rest of you and say thank you for attending the Masters of Digital 2023. Please go and have your lunch, and please all staff come to stage. Thank you so much.